Onyxcoin XCN has been developing a ton of hype over the past couple days. In this video, we're going to talk about what Onyxcoin is, what they have going for themselves, and my price prediction towards the end of the video. But before we get started, welcome back to the channel. My name's Doc. Throughout the day, I'm a resident physician, and at night, I take you guys on my crypto and investing journey. The past couple days, a lot of people have been talking about XCN. I've seen it all over Twitter, all over YouTube. I wanted to cover this project because I actually made my first purchase on this last night. I'm building my own position. As you guys are coming in, consider giving me a preliminary like. Consider subscribing if you want to see more videos like this, and let me know down below how much XCN Onyx do you guys hold. We're going to talk about all the things that is this, but first, I just want to go over the chart a little bit. Price has been beaten down over the past day or so, but that's because Bitcoin has been having a tough couple days. This is not a Bitcoin video, but I do just want to mention the price of Bitcoin is down just a little bit, and alts are peeling back as well, which in my opinion creates a good buying opportunity. I bought on the dip, and again, I can't give you financial advice, but I think this project has a ton of potential. We're going to go over that in this video. So Onyxcoin, what are they? Well, they are a financial ledger, right? They're a modular blockchain that's designed for financial grade applications, offering near instant confirmation at low fees, right? This is designed for financial grade applications. We talked about this cross-border thing, right? Designed banking, securities, payment applications with no borders. And the cool thing is they have a burn function. And I think this is really, really bullish tokenomics. If a project has enough confidence in themselves to burn their own tokens, they must be doing something well. Okay. So this is built as a layer 3 on base, right? So it's really nice. You hear everyone talking about all these other different chains, right? Sui, Solana, they're cheap. Well, Ethereum is decentralized. And if you're going to be a financial token, it's important to have that decentralization. And the interesting thing is this project, it kind of gives that institutional vibe, kind of like XRP, right? I'm not saying that XCN Onyxcoin is the next XRP, but it has a lot of similarities. And we're going to talk about those here in just a second. If we scroll down, we can see that they actually, you can buy this on so many different places, right? The big one is you can buy it on Coinbase. That's a huge centralized exchange. You can also buy it on KuCoin, Kraken, Gate.io, Bybit, a ton of places. The interesting thing is they're saying you can buy it on Binance. Now, I didn't see it on Binance, but I actually went to their Twitter, which, by the way, their Twitter, very, very professional. They have the gold check mark. Just a tweet from 4 hours ago, if we scroll in on this, they're saying that they're running a poll, and that's to provide $1 million in liquidity on PancakeSwap for BNB and USDT. And this was super bullish to me because they are, in a lot of ways, trying to go cross-chain, right? They're trying to make themselves available to all the liquidity and capital on different chains. So we just said how they're on ETH, right? And we know the daily volume on ETH is absolutely huge. Well, guess what? BNB, Binance, they are not far behind. So I'm going to be following this poll, and if you want updates on it, consider subscribing because I will cover this in a couple days to check out what's going on with this poll. But this would be super, super bullish for me. So that's something that they have going for themselves. They actually, you can also stake your XCN Onyxcoin, and the rates are pretty wild, right? So right now you can get a 28% APR, which is huge. And I like to think, for those who may not be aware of staking and the value locked on stake, in some ways, it's kind of the health of the overall chain, right? If people have confidence to stake their tokens, it means that the project has confidence behind it. And typically the market's smart. They put confidence in projects that they think can do really well. And guess what? There's 4.77 billion XCN Onyx tokens staked. And that's over $60 million worth. So talk about a lot of folks having conviction and confidence in XCN to kind of, in some ways, put their money where their mouth is. So if we take a look at their ecosystem, they're doing a lot of different things. They got a lot of bridges, and that makes sense, right? Because they're really positioning themselves as a financial ledger, a way to transfer capital borderless. across borders. So they talk about some of their digital assets, how they have this decentralized governance. The cool thing, they're also coming out with like a wallet, which would be interesting because this wallet does look clean. But the thing that caught my eye was this AI agent. And we all know that AI is going to be one of the hottest narratives this cycle without question. And Onyx is trying to, what seems like, lean into that narrative in a lot of different ways. So let's take a look at the price action. Now, no doubt the project, it is down today, but that's because we just said Bitcoin is really showing some weakness today because of that conflict in the Middle East. Also, and we'll talk about this more in a second, there's an FOMC meeting tomorrow, right? So around these big events, it does sometimes create some choppiness, but that's okay. I actually want to buy when there is choppiness. So I actually bought on this dip and I'm glad that I did. But XCN right now, it has a $459 million market cap and approximately 2/3 of its supply is circulating. So there will be some dilution over the next several years, but it is spread out over multiple years. But I want you to have that on your radar. There will be a little bit of dilution. Roughly 1/3 of the tokens are still yet to be minted. So put that on your radar. Now, the other thing that I want to address is if you go to the max chart, this looks scary, right? You have this huge, there wasn't a lot of volume over the bear market. So XCN Onyx, they released in 2022. And this was, in a lot of ways, bad luck to release at this time because the bear market was just starting. But at that time, they hit a market cap of over $3.5 billion. Currently, they're a little bit less than $500 million. And in January, when the market was pumping a lot of ways with the inauguration, they hit $1.1 billion. So we're going to go over my price prediction here in just a second, but I felt like it was really good to look at this on the Bollinger Bands. So this is the BTCC platform. I really, really like their charting software. If we go in the full screen mode, you can see on the 4-hour chart, this is starting to come down. It's starting to correct and it's working towards the bottom part of the Bollinger Bands, and we can actually see that RSI is starting to dip as well. Again, I think this is a good buying opportunity, but I can't give you financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. You're responsible for your buys and sells, but I did buy a small bag here to start a position because I think the prices are really good. Like if we zoom back and we look just a couple weeks ago, this was above 2 cents, right? Above 2 cents. So like a 60-70% move, which is pretty big, seeing as this was not that long ago. Now, the other thing that I want to look at or just draw our attention to is this orange line. This is the 20-day moving average. And right now we've fallen below the 20-day moving average on the 4-hour chart. So we actually need to break back through this, turn this resistance into support, and then start working our way toward the top part of the Bollinger Bands. I'm going to be following this project both on my Twitter and on YouTube at InvestWithDoc. So if you want updates, consider subscribing. Also, if you want to leverage trade, my BTCC link is going to be down below. You can get a 10% bonus on first-time deposits. This is a no KYC, no VPN platform. Really, really awesome too. I think you can do 20 to 50x leverage on Onyx, 50x leverage, which is great. Again, only leverage trade if you're an experienced trader, but this is a way to make outsized gains if you know what you're doing. So we're talking about Onyx, where we think the price can go for this project. Personally, if Bitcoin were to hit 60, 160, 170, $180,000 and Bitcoin dominance fell back down, I think this thing could absolutely rip. I really think that. My base case, I'm going to give you both my base and my bull case. My base case is that this can get to $5 billion, right? Last cycle, it hit $3.5 billion. And just a couple months ago, it was at $5 billion. At some point, Bitcoin dominance, it's at 64, almost 65%. At some point, Bitcoin dominance is going to fall back down to the mid 50s. I really do believe that. It's just a matter of time before Bitcoin dominance falls. And if that happens, I think my base case is that Onyx can hit a $5 billion market cap, which is over a 10x from here. Now, what's my bull case? Because I know A lot of you degens, you want to know what my bull case for this project is. Well, again, we said if Bitcoin can really have a blow off top, I would not be surprised to see this hit a $20 billion market cap. Now, a lot of things need to go correct for that to happen. And again, this isn't financial advice, but if Bitcoin can have a blow off top and XCN continues to gain the traction that it has over the past couple of days, I would not necessarily be surprised by that. But in the short term, we need to prepare. There's going to be some choppiness, right? There's an FOMC meeting tomorrow. The Fed's likely going to keep rates exactly where they are. And we know that there's a lot of conflict in the Middle East right now. So we got to get through those things first. If you guys haven't followed me, consider doing it. I try to give you guys fast, reliable information that's easy to digest. Consider subscribing. If you got any value out of this, hit the like button. And more importantly, I read all the comments. Let me know, where do you think Onyxcoin XCN can go this cycle? And I'll see you guys on my next video.